Hello, hello. We are back with our last part here of Anno Domini episode 8. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very excited to have this showdown with Jared's character when he's not even here.
Oh yeah. If
But
only
it's
I
fine
had any
because
spells.
Jared's character is being possessed by someone else, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, is
What?
that the answer to the question? Okay.
I
Spoilers!
picked up on that.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I-
assumed that
yeah.
you all picked up on that.
I figured
I mean, I
Billy
thought this
Eyes
was
could be
fun.
multiple things.
You said this vessel.
Yeah.
He did. He did.
I thought you
did.
were saying that that's the key to.
I was thinking he was talking about
Punger.
Pongerban and the cat powers that Erastus is manifesting. And I'm
Oh.
not sure why I read it that way.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Cat powers.
Cat powers activate. Oh wow, Marmaduke
Cat
rolled
man.
very low there.
What?
Marmaduke rolled very low on his initiative.
Oh my.
It's better than me.
He crit failed with a 1.
So if you crit fail
You just don't get a
on your
turn.
initiative, do you just not get to move during the combat?
No, that's not how that
I think that sounds good for this combat.
works.
Your movement speed is 0 until the end of combat, or until you die, whichever comes first.
But what if the combat
Oh.
lasts forever?
All
Well,
combat lasts forever. Just
not, but sucks to suck, I guess.
don't roll a 1. Noob. Okay.
You're stuck in a time loop. Anyway, so
Time loop.
Let's do the time warp again.
Time loop. Sorry.
With the Bane of Hounds still at your back in the distance, but not too distant.
Oh, I forgot about that.
The Bane of Hounds? Oh boy. Better make sure that he watches our
Bane.
back to prevent the hounds from getting to us.
The Bane.
Bane of our hounds.
Ulrich, you start.
Oh wow,
Initiative round.
that's a first. Okay,
Always the
well,
first time for everything.
do I suspect that destroying the stones is going to do something?
Yes,
I do.
I would think so.
Yeah, I told you that it worked last time in character, so take from that
Really?
what you will.
Wait, what happened last time? What do you mean?
You weren't there last time. Remember at the ritual site you weren't there at.
Oh.
So breaking the stones.
You were too busy declaring your love for a sword.
To be
Nope.
fair, I think you got the better end of that deal. We almost died.
It's true.
It's true.
And you got a wife and a sword.
Yeah.
So these are the stones, right?
Yep.
All right, I attack them with my magical awesome sword.
Yeah, fair.
Did you ask her permission before swinging your head at a rock?
Did you get consent?
We're married, David. Her body is mine, my body is
All right, we're not gonna go down that rabbit trail.
You failed.
What? How did I
What's
fail?
the AC of a rock, Caleb?
Higher than 9.
Are you sure
It doesn't
about
mean that he didn't hit it. It just means he didn't do anything
It's
to
a
it.
combination of how hard it is to hit and
Yeah.
how hard it is to actually damage.
Exactly.
Okay, hang on 1 second while Donan gets out a diamond to scratch it so we can figure out how this all works.
There you go.
What's your hardness level?
So yeah, Ulrich, you like take a swing at it, and it just kind of bounces off.
That's dumb. I feel like
Your
he's like,
magical sword bounces off the rock. Get wrecked.
"Ah!" And I'm like, Delia, what the heck?
Wow, blaming your wife.
Why are you blaming
Oh,
me
blow.
for this? You didn't have enough leverage on that swing.
Oh,
That
Right.
didn't take long.
sorry.
Bickering already.
Erastus?
Oh, it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Well, I'm not going to attack the rock because I don't have any spells left. So, going to attempt to remember how this works. Nope, I already messed it up. It's done by pressing Q or right clicking. Oh, that's so much easier.
So I'm just gonna
Okay.
put a bunch of tokens on the map for the children.
Oh, okay. I was
So
confused
we
for a
actually
second.
know what where they are.
Am I wearing all my armor now?
Yeah.
Thank you.
No. Sorry, David. You have 3/4 of your armor on now.
Ah,
Your AC is 19.
no. All right. So many children. Man, the children should just attack him. They have like quintuple advantage.
There's 15 of them.
Yeah. I mean, that's 8 attacks with advantage every round. Even if they did 1 damage, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but they're also children, and some of them are like literally 3 years old.
Yeah,
So.
but that just means that they're all head
There's
height
that
to his
one
critical
kid.
damage location.
He's like super leader dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, if every child does only even as little as 2 damage, still plenty.
I mean, yeah, you could try to convince the children to attack him, I guess. Just punch him.
Aim for the soft spot.
Everyone punch his groin!
I wish I had a spell slot left. Hold on. I don't think I do. I'm pretty sure I used that.
That's an idea. A support class that can donate spell slots.
That's
That'd be
kind of
cool.
interesting.
I have command, and I could have just told him to come here, but I can't because I don't have a spell left. Does Donan have command? I feel like you might. Unless it's a paladin thing.
I think his name was Lefwin.
Sounds
The guy who took on the leadership role. Just trying to remember it.
So are all those children just standing there?
Yeah, they're like standing, like huddling around Marmaduke in
I
fear.
don't know what's happening.
Oh, in that case, yeah.
Like in fear of him or of us? Or can
It's
we tell?
honestly hard to tell.
Okay.
You don't know what they're afraid of.
Well, that's an insight check, it sounds like.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna bump down here.
Lefwin is like over here.
Okay,
That's Lefwin right there.
I'm gonna come down in front of the kids, and I'm gonna be like,
Hey, kids!
yeah, like, listen, children, I'm afraid something strange has happened to Marmaduke. Please get behind me. We will take care of this.
All right,
Just
make a
get somewhere
persuasion
safe.
check.
All right. Boop. 22.
22.
I didn't crit fail a roll that I have +6 for once. Yeah.
Hey.
So, I
That's
guess
crazy.
I'll roll for the children. Put them on the turn order, and they will obey you when it's their turn.
Baller. With 22, do I convince fake Marmaduke to let them go?
Nope. So yeah, they look like, oh, okay, and then they start to like back away. Donan?
Well, I
That's
wanted them to
me.
come towards me, but yeah.
Right, yeah, sure.
I think Donan's gonna pull out his hammer. And let me double check. Yeah, you don't have resistance anymore, by the way, Ulrich. That falls off after a minute.
I had resistance.
I gave you
Yeah,
that
that's
buff.
that
Little claw thing.
Oh. Well,
The cloth, I
don't
went
think
and
I
threw
ever
it.
got hit.
I went and shoved it in your pocket. Yeah, and it wouldn't have
Right.
mattered much because there was nothing causing you to have to do saving throws.
Yeah.
Well, no, because there would have been potential for grappling throw or for saves against grapple, right, Caleb?
True.
I don't know.
Yeah. with the
Doesn't matter.
frogs.
Point is, it's no longer there, so don't worry about it.
All right.
Don't worry about it. I mean, Donan can also walk up to the rocks, and he has a hammer.
It's true.
I mean, I think it's probably worth hitting the rocks with the hammer.
Sure. Yeah. Make an attack roll.
Big two-handed hammer swing. Goes boom.
And
Are
also
you
misses.
real? I don't
These are
understand these.
really hard rocks, apparently.
Oh man.
Why? It is hammer. Hammer
Yeah, and
break
so-
rock.
I think so.
Hammer break rock.
No, you need paper.
Donan, do you want to make a
Right.
wisdom or no? Do you want to make a con save for me?
Con save?
That's something good. Something.
Con save?
You're so disgusted at the underperformance of your hammer that you vomit within your mouth.
You throw up a little bit in your mouth.
Con save.
Oof.
All right. You take two lightning damage.
So you take 1 lightning. Aren't you resistant to lightning damage?
I don't think so.
What?
I'm sure that will happen
Possibly
eventually,
not
but for now.
Dude,
he's
you have
not.
lightning tattoos on your forehead.
So
yeah,
what
they weren't
happens-
made by lightning.
Are you sure? Because that sounds pretty cool to me.
they just look like lightning.
It's blue ink.
Yeah. So
Conductive
Donan, what happens is
Magic.
Blue ink.
when you hit this thing, right?
Magical blue ink.
It's like almost as if like you've been like rubbing your hammer against a carpet or something. Like static electricity just like bounces at you, and you get shocked and you get pushed back like 10 feet. And
Corn flowers.
and Donan, I think make a
Um,
Arcana check for me. I think it's maybe something you can figure out here.
Arcana check?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're familiar with these sigils and this magic once you've kind of got up close. These are definitely like storm spirit sigils.
Oh. Are they attuned to something? Can I tap into them?
Possibly. You're not entirely sure what they might be attuned to.
Well, that would
but-
be worth investigating further.
Yeah, it's just now that you're down in the glade a little bit more, you're sensing this like kind of the type of atmosphere, the type of feel in the air that happens before a storm.
Where your hair stands on end and
Yeah,
you can smell the rain on the concrete miles off, and
exactly.
or in the
Concrete.
trees is the case, maybe.
You guys look over and there's like a Starbucks 300 feet yonder.
How did we? The Feywild is indeed a weird place.
That's an understatement.
But yeah,
Holy
Next-
crap! All those children icons look so weird.
I know.
Yeah.
Next, what happens is a dryad steps out of a tree.
Oh,
what?
great.
That's
But
not
it's
good.
a rock. That's a rock I'm looking at.
That's definitely a tree.
That's
That's a
part of a
tree stump.
tree.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, sorry. I thought it was one of these rocks, but you're right. For some reason, it looks different. Whatever. Okay. Cool. Great. Is it half dead from the last time we killed it?
It doesn't look like the same one.
Oh, darn.
And I think she steps over. No. Yeah, she steps over here. No, I guess she could just stay where she is. Yeah, so she just stays there, and she looks at you, Donan, and she says, Donan. I believe we could use you to help with this whole thing. Why don't you come over here? And she's going to use Fey Charm on you.
Oh, great.
And I rolled it in the GM layer on accident. Or not rolled it, but pasted it. So make a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
so,
so you-
let me get this straight. You're tall and you're willowy and you don't have a beard, and you want me just to come over there like that?
And she kind of like,
There's
pouts
nothing
a
to
little
you.
bit.
I touch you and you break.
I think she kind of like sniffs and she says, you don't know anything. You don't know the first thing about trees.
You're right. I don't. Nor do I care to.
Get stuffed.
Yep.
Oh.
So the children start to like make their way behind
mob.
Erastus.
Whoa. That's startling. So many children moving. Creepy.
So many.
Oh gosh.
All right.
And what's happening, I think, is Marmaduke is just smiling as the children just like filter out around him.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's his turn. And Marmaduke is gonna cast Sleep. And so first I gotta roll a d20.
So at this
Not
point,
sure.
are they all out of the range of the like sacrificial sigil thing?
You're not sure.
Oh, sorry. It's not as
And-
obvious
Not
as it was
sure.
last time.
No.
Okay.
It's like the whole glade is kind of glowing with magic and stuff.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So
That's a good sign.
a bunch of the kids just fall asleep.
What? Oh, that's not good. Does that mean they're dead? Or is that you just being nice?
Probably means they're sleeping.
It means that
Cast
someone
the
cast a
spell.
sleep spell and now they are asleep.
So it would be so 6 of the kids fall asleep. Find a token. So that happens. A bunch of the kids fall asleep. And I don't know if Marmaduke has another thing he wants to do. Let me double check if he has another thing you can do with a bonus action. I don't think there is. So, that's his turn. He just casts sleep and a bunch of the children fall asleep. Lasik, it's you.
Oh
Brown
my
bear form.
gosh. Still don't know what to do.
So a bunch of children that are like walking towards you, just like fall asleep.
Oh gosh. Is the I don't remember his name, but the one kid, the
Left
one, the kid
Left
that
one?
was yeah
He's still
left
alive.
one.
We're still awake
Okay.
and alive,
Um.
and he knows what he believes inside, actually, too.
Wow.
I knew it was coming.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure silent speech isn't like a full action thing.
No, it's just you. Yeah, you can speak like that. Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing she does, she's gonna like make sure she makes eye contact with this one kid, and
Fluffin, yeah.
yeah, and does so that
He knows that the bear is
the
the
bear
one
is
talking to him.
And so that he's not going to be afraid of the bear because the bear's the one talking to him.
Okay.
And then she says, like, get as many of these kids out of here as you can. Like
Okay,
referring to the ones that fell asleep.
Yeah, make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Let's see if he'll listen to this bear that's speaking in his mind.
I mean, if you're not gonna listen to a bear,
God.
Oh no, Leasig. So
Dang
he's
it, I
just
should've used
he's
inspiration.
just
Still
super
would've been great,
confused.
but-
He doesn't understand like what's going on. And a bunch of the kids just fell asleep in front of him, and the bear is talking to him in his mind, and he's just very confused. Oh yeah, you can do something else though.
Let's see. I'm gonna move. Oops. I'm gonna move here, and just ready in action to attack if anyone attacks any of the kids.
A bunch of dogs teleport in.
Oh gosh.
serious?
Yep.
Oh boy. This is intense. There's a lot going on.
Yep.
And we're probably all dead.
Oh my
At least all
gosh.
the kids are.
Jeez.
I have an idea. But it
Ulrich.
won't help much.
Yes.
It's
My
you.
turn?
Yeah, you see a bunch of dogs just teleport in from the forest.
Well, we got the children mostly out, except
Did we?
for the dog.
They're about
problem.
30 feet in a different direction, sure.
This is Marmaduke right here, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Has anybody tried attacking him?
Nope.
All right.
No, we were more worried about getting the children out of,
All right.
away.
Well, 1, 2,
which they're barely out of the way now, and most of them are asleep. So,
4, 5.
did you notice all the dogs up here? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did.
Oh, I
Just
didn't
making
see
sure, because now there's definitely nobody in between them and the kids. So,
Yep, I know.
Oh, frick, I shouldn't
cool.
have moved.
All right.
I know. I feel like Marmaduke is the boss that you got to kill first. I think that's the tip for beating this boss.
Beating this level.
Yeah.
The tip for beating this boss: beat this boss.
Yeah. Well, some people say you got to go for the minions first and then take out the boss, and I think you just go for the boss.
Ads will just keep spawning and spawning and spawning.
Right, exactly. So you just go straight for the kill.
Yeah. Except for when the ads are trying to murder children, and
that's irrelevant. 19.
All right, good to know.
Irrelevant!
Yeah, you hit him.
Okay.
All right, you immediately drop him.
Really?
Nice. Yeah, it's
Dang.
Marmaduke. So he's
Yeah.
It's a skinny man.
Right.
somehow he doesn't have extra health, which is
Right. That's great. So that's it then? He's down?
Yep.
Um
You literally just stab him in the back.
Good. So are you gonna do non-lethal damage? Otherwise, Jared's character might die.
I'm totally fine for killing his character.
Okay.
Honestly, I was thinking about doing action surge and just, finishing the job. He
Right.
threatened children.
I mean, he was possessed.
Yeah, possessed people. I don't know. There's no answer to that.
Yeah, so don't murder him, maybe.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, he's down.
Yeah.
And come
Ulrich?
on.
Ulrich, make a wisdom save for me.
Oh no.
Why?
Because he was possessed.
I should have recast my buff!
No, why? Why though?
Well, it's okay. If Ulrich's the boss.
Oh my goodness.
Ulrich, you suddenly feel a presence in your mind.
Let's go. Let's fight.
You just did.
No,
You lost.
like you lost. Yeah.
You have a magic weapon. This is great.
Yeah. So Ulrich, you suddenly feel. I mean, you don't.
But
You kind of
can-
disappear, and Oberon is here now.
What?
Can Delia like sense that and like refuse
Oh, yeah.
to like?
I mean, there's something. Yeah, she's probably gonna be able to fight him
Nice.
somehow, but like. Yeah, you guys see like
I
Ulrich
hate
just like tense
being-
and like. Ugh.
I hate it when the bad guy can't die and just possesses everybody.
'Cause
Yeah,
that happens
there's
all
Well,
the time.
so that's the thing. He's not even
No.
here though, right? The Oberon isn't here. That's the whole point.
Right. I hate
Erastus.
I mean, I have no idea that he's possessed now. So, yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, go defend the kids.
yeah,
What I should have done.
I'm going to. Am I allowed to move through friendlies, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Excuse me, coming through.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move right here and take the dodge. Nope, not there. The dodge action.
Okay. Sure.
So I wiggle my sword at them.
Mm-hmm. Dona McKendicker.
All right.
You see an interesting situation in front of you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. I feel like I might have something for this. Nope. Nope, I don't. I mean, at this point, I think Donan's gonna walk over, or Donan's gonna walk over to the stones and try and tap into the power that they're resonating with.
Uh-huh.
If I can consume this and use it, yes, please. Because
Okay. Yeah.
I'm out of
sure.
second level spell slots, and I would love a fourth level spell slot right about now.
All
Or
right.
something.
Make a intelligence save, I think.
Okay. Okay.
You want to tell us a story?
I mean, I have inspiration already
Ah,
ticked
There you go. Cool.
because that was
There you go. 18.
must have been
Good
left
thing you
over
use
from
it.
last time I told the inspiration story. All right.
So, Donan, you feel. I don't know. Do you have an analogous experience to this? Like, have you ever felt an immense wave of power wash over you?
Yes. I stuck my finger into a capacitor circuit on a camera once.
I meant like
Flashed.
Donan.
It's like somebody snuck up behind you and grabbed your shoulders, the adrenaline rush, followed by the fight or flight, but it's the freeze, and you can't move because your finger's in a DC circuit, and your muscles seize up. Oh, you mean Donan.
I mean, Donan.
I mean, I think it's probably overwhelming to him. Like the first time that he really harnessed the power of the lightning or the power of the storm spirits. Yes, he's kind of first learning. He spent a long time in theory because that's such, that's how you do. Learning your history and your religion and, knowing the prayers and stuff. And then the first time that he done some simple things, right? Make a little spark or, energize a hammer or something to impress a teacher or whatnot, like the basic stuff. You're supposed to be easing into it. But I think I'm going to tell my inspiration story anyway because I have
Yeah,
one now.
go ahead. Yeah, you
Um,
can charge it again, yeah.
But out in the woods one day playing with he's just messing around with sticks and stones, and as you do as a younger kid, right? Like all, the other children weren't really interested in interacting with him, so he was off in the woods by himself and started getting dark, and he was slightly lost, more lost than he wants to admit to himself even now. And out of the darkness, just a big wolf came charging at him, went for the throat, and in that moment of desperation, he reached out for the lightning spark power. Maybe a flashlight would scare it, right? And he found something and he grabbed it. And as he pulled on that power, more of it came than he really knew that he grabbed more power than he ever channeled before, and pretty thoroughly electrocuted the wolf. And it was a very overwhelming moment for him.
Yeah.
So he recognizes, wait a minute here, little bitty sparks are nothing, right? There's so much more to tap, and
Yeah.
it's way wildly more out of control than
Mm-hmm.
I could expect. And he was found later in the middle of a burnt out clearing in the forest by some dryads putting out a forest fire.
Yeah. Sure. So I think we see this moment where Donan, you look at this stone, and what are you exactly doing? Just like pressing your hand up to the sigil?
I mean, I think he's kind of looking at how the energy is moving through the sigil and recognizing where it's attuned and how it's aligned and
Mm-hmm.
the potentials, and you're recognizing where the charge builds up. And
Mm-hmm.
if you tweak it a little bit with a piece of flint or something, carving utensil to draw it on it, I don't know, there was something nearby to adjust the sigil.
Okay.
To
Yeah.
It's not so much a thing where you're like, yes, I know that this changes because it's lightning, right? It's
Mhm.
energy and lightning. It's more of a gut feeling of, if I do this, I can redirect the power a little bit.
So
And
what
now I've
happens
got
is
it.
Donan looks at the sigil, and we see him reconstructing an Aeon, as it were, right? Like to uh-huh.
Sure.
Yeah. And I think what happens is yeah, right, these are sigils you're familiar with. All of these sigils are featured prominently not only in like your religious texts, but also like just the spells that you use, like any scrolls you may have learned these things from. And like you're looking at this stuff and you're like, okay, wow, this is like way above my pay grade. Like these sigils are like for the big stuff. Like, and I'm not able to use that yet. But I think what we see is I mean, we've been seeing this like blue glow and like this kind of like charged atmospheres throughout the glade, but now it starts to take on a very like primal light. I think we see lightning start to dance like as if you're the center of it all, Donan, start to like dance and like kind of like flicker across the glade, all kind of centered on you and like
Apprentice style.
yeah. There's kind of like lightning, like kind of like just arcing off of you. And you feel like this, like wave of like emotion and energy just kind of like fill you up. But it's still like that feeling where you're like, oh wow, like you remember the loss, the sense of loss of control that you had the first time you used such power, and you're like, oh, I gotta be really careful with this because I don't know what I'm doing. Like I just tapped into something, but I have no idea how to use it. But I think we get a momentary shot on Ulrich's face, the now possessed Ulrich, and we just see him smirk slightly. And he looks over at the Dryad, and the Dryad just nods. And Donan, I mean, what do you want to try to do?
I think what Donan wants to do is he wants what lightning wants at this point. And until this point, he hadn't really understood lightning to the extent that he does now, right? He recognizes people think that lightning wants destruction, it wants damage, it wants heat and light and fire and energy, and that's not what lightning wants. Lightning's not out for heat and light and destruction and energy. Lightning's out for balance. Because what happens when what makes lightning? It's an imbalance in charge between the clouds and the ground, all right? The atmosphere and the ground. And Donan in this moment sees a need for balance, and he's going to try and return the power. He's going to try to channel the power in such a way that it balances the equation. It brings everything. It de-escalates the situation.
Yeah, yeah. In a very similar kind of like inverse way to what we saw with the first ritual, right? Like
he's not trying to unleash it. He's trying to.
Yeah, you're trying to set it all up and faithfully balance it. Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. How do you want to attempt to do that?
It's a discharge, but like a safe one. He's
Yeah,
probably just
yeah,
gonna go
like just up in the air or whatever, right?
honestly,
Yeah.
or like straight up to the sky or wherever or to another stone or wherever the imbalance is being generated.
Yeah. Okay.
And not directing it at anyone or anything. Just de-energize the whole ritual.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
If it's doing anything, he wants to stop it. But more than anything, he just wants to balance it.
Yeah. How about you make an Arcana check? I think, or I don't know. What do you think? Like, what would be the argument that you would make for what you're rolling here to try to like figure out how to do this, or?
I would argue that at this point it's insight, right?
Right.
Because he has so much new power in him. The storm spirit's power is really concentrated here. He's not going to be thinking. He's not going to.
You want to use your gut reaction here.
Hold up. Donna,
He's gonna act.
did you just become a Voidbringer?
What?
Don't think so.
No? Okay, just checking.
No.
Don't think so.
Don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so, sir. Am I a Voidbringer, sir? So yeah, I think it's a gut instinct. It's a feeling of. It's a combination of his, desire to not hurt things.
Yeah.
It's really deep down. He wants to protect things, and exploding in a big giant lightning bolt isn't going to exactly keep all the sleeping children safe. So it's a kind of that will of the will to not hurt things combined with
Make a good decision. Be wise about this. Yeah.
the gut. Actually, it's a wisdom thing, right?
Okay. Yeah. Make an insight roll.
Hey.
Oh my gosh!
Nice.
Donin!
Oh!
25 crit success.
Yeah.
So you do this. So you just describe for us what that specifically looks like. Like what of those like suggestions that you were making, what do you specifically do?
I think. I think. What Donan realizes is that the imbalance here has been generated over. It's been building for a while, and it's an imbalance between the ground and the sky, like all lightning is. And this one's just highly concentrated, and so he basically he kicks the sigil on the stone to scuff it away. Like there's no containment on it anymore. And with one foot still on the stone, those conductive shoes, he's suddenly completely lights up with energy.
Yeah.
And just throws it skyward.
Okay.
In an enormous bolt of lightning.
Yeah, it just kind of like arcs out like the roots of a tree into the sky.
You can see, a solid beam of light arcing out into clouds, and like the whole sky lights up for miles across.
Yeah,
And
sure.
it's pretty still and calm down near the base because it's all going through his foot.
Yeah.
And it's, making a mess up. It's going crazy up in the sky.
Yeah, and I think what happens is we get this like short pause, this like silence, and then there were still clouds in the sky, like kind of storm clouds starting to brew, and I think it literally just starts raining at that point, right? It's just like as the charge just like kind of like dissipates, it's just like, and now we're gonna rain. And so like the clearing starts to just get wet and drizzly. And then it's the Dryad's turn, and I think she kind of frowns as she's just like looking at this whole situation, Donan. And I think the camera just like sees and hears her just say to herself briefly, "Well, that's not what they said would happen." And I think she like kind of is like looking around like, oh no, like I don't know what to do now, like, but she's gonna do something. So I think she's just gonna run, actually. Yeah, I feel like that's what she's gonna do, because she's not a warrior. She's not gonna. She was here to try to do something, and she thought she did it, and then she didn't, and then this all is just falling apart, and so she's just gonna like go into the tree. Bye.
That's fair.
Yep. So the children, some of them are sleeping. The other ones are freaking out because there's a bunch of dogs coming towards them.
All right, that's good. They've got good instincts.
Yeah.
Don't fear the lightning, fear the dogs.
Yeah, the problem is, I don't know.
I love the image of David of Erastus with his sword down in front of all the kids.
Yeah. Erastus, what would you have told the kids to do? Like I started going through them.
Listen to the bear.
Probably to. I mean, when I was walking through, I think stuff was still questionable. But now everything's gone kind of nuts. I think I'd probably tell them to run at this point, like probably towards the bear, right, from the dogs.
Yeah, I think that's what they do. They all book it this way.
And also to carry the unconscious children because they're unconscious.
Yeah, I think that's what happens. I think they have enough wherewithal to just book it, and they're all going to be like, towards sort of off the map almost at this point.
Cool.
They're just running. Yeah. And it's Marmaduke's turn. So I'm going to make a death save for him. Okay, 1 success. I believe that's a success, right? Is it 10?
I think so.
Yeah. All right, Lisig, are you going to go with the children?
Yes. I think I'm also going to I'm going to again silent speech with the guy. I can't remember his name.
Leftwin.
Started with an L. Yeah, Leftwin. I'm going to silent speech with him again, and like go over to him, and I still have the on. And like bend down and just say like climb on and grab as many as you can, and like just get them out of there as soon as possible. Do I need to roll another persuasion for that?
No, I think like they have gotten a handle on the situation now, and
Okay,
they were gonna listen to Erastus originally because he made that persuasion roll. It was just that moment. Leftwin was just very confused.
Yeah.
So I think they
understandably
they go with you. Yeah.
Bear talking to him through his mind.
Exactly. It's just very confusing. All right, all the dogs charge, and they're gonna surround you, Erastus.
Yep, I figured. So none of them have advantage because I'm dodging.
Yeah. So they'll have straight rolls. All right. No, that was it. All GM rolled.
I was wondering why I didn't see any.
Oh boy.
So it's on stream here. So let's see. What's your
If
armor
they're over
class?
21, then they need-
Only one of them hits. One of them got a 21. So 6 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're like, biting, clawing at you. Ulrich. So you want to make another wisdom save?
Yes, I would love to. My goodness.
Because this is the thing, right? Like Delia is like actively like trying to help you out here.
She's good. She's my wife. She made vows. This
For better or for worse, and this is about the worst.
I was just about to say that. So 17, that's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, I think here. So I think what happens here, right, is we get this moment where Ulrich, you seize up, you're gone, right, and Oberon is taking control, and we see kind of in like your mind space, right. We see Oberon just like standing kind of like in this foggy space, and then he basically is just kind of like muttering to himself like, I won't let them get away with this. I'll kill them. That's what I'll do. I'll kill them all. And we hear a sword come out of scabbard, and
great.
Oberon like turns around. And we see, so this is like a very handsome man, like Fey man, right? And he turns around and he sees Delia. Delia's there holding herself, basically, right? Like the sword that is herself in this mind space. And she basically says, "I'm sorry, this place is this space is occupied. I'm going to need you to exit." And basically just like charges him. And then Oberon like grabs out like a light sword too, and just like they start like fighting each other, right? And this all happens like in the span of like 6 seconds, in terms of like real time, but it seems longer. And then finally Delia just like stabs him through the heart basically, and then just like takes out the sword, and Oberon just like falls to his knees and like collapses, and then
nice.
yeah, and then Oberon like looks back up at her and says, "Oh, you're going to pay for that, Delia. You won't be welcome back here in the Spring Court.
Oh boy, I just got her exiled.
Know this." And then he like fades into mist. And then already you're like back to yourself. But unfortunately that took up your turn. That like,
I mean, that's fine.
yeah, that encounter there. Erastus, you're fighting a bunch of dogs.
Okay. I mean, I think I'm just gonna take that action.
Yeah, sure. So you're just like,
Yep.
do that. Donan,
Yes.
on your turn, I think what happens is, right, so it has started raining, and the dryad had just slipped into the tree. And I think what happens is the tree gets hit by lightning. And
the one that she just dropped into.
yeah, the one that she just went into. And so we get this moment of just like lightning strikes, the tree just was on fire, and a dryad like pops out of the tree just dead. Just like,
Oh gosh. Dang.
Okay.
and like you're just standing there, still kind of like awash with the like feeling that like the adrenaline and all that stuff, right, from the energy. But all the stone sigils are dead. This tree has just been struck by lightning. It's raining. What do you want to do?
Jonan, send some of that my way, will you?
That's an idea. Ooh, this is a good decision point.
It seems like the sigils are dead. But I mean, yeah, you could try something else. I don't know.
Which tree did the dryad fall out of?
This one.
Okay. Donan's gonna run over to the dryad.
Okay.
And he's going to try and cast Spare the Dying.
Okay.
Is she still technically living at 0 hit points, or
I think so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think if you do that within that amount of time, yeah, you could spare her. Yeah, she becomes stable at 0 hit points.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice guy.
He didn't want to kill her.
I mean, maybe Donin remembers a certain other tree that got struck by lightning that
The
made him a
trees-
little sad.
Yeah, and like,
Oh,
yeah, it's like killing trees.
Which tree exactly?
Oh,
was-
you weren't there.
Oh, okay.
That was the session you were gone.
That's right. That's what happened to it. I couldn't remember why.
Yeah, remember because it was locked with the
Yeah,
tree on the
That's
other
right.
side.
The tree on the other side is what got struck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what's going through his head.
remember that.
hmm
Memories, and he's like, no, we don't. I don't want you to die too now here.
hmm
That was never my intent with the. I wanted to say I wanted people to not die.
Yeah. You know, but
Yeah.
storms are hard to control. So, yeah. So the Dryad is stable. The children keep running. Marmaduke makes another death save.
Did they get on the bear? Or at least some of them?
That's one fail.
Does Marmaduke have his luck?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Can you spend luck on
Yeah.
these?
Yeah, I think he can. He'll just roll it again. He got the same roll. He's gonna spend
Cool.
it again. He's got the same roll. So he's gonna spend it again. That's his last luck point because he might as well. He doesn't. Okay. Well, hopefully he's gotten a lot of failures out.
Hopefully.
All right, Lisa, you lead them away. I think the blink dogs just run. I think it's the
Yeah.
lightning bolt scares them, right? The
Yes.
whole thing with the tree.
Yes.
And now Ulrich doesn't have Oberon inside of him, and
Right.
so they're suddenly like terrified, and then they just walk off into the forest.
Nice.
Have me
Um,
belong.
So, Ulrich, what do? You could try stabilizing Marmaduke. You now understand what was going on because you got possessed
Right.
by.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Okay, you want to make a medicine check?
yeah, might as well. Is it actually called that? Medicine?
Yeah, medicine is a skill.
You said the dogs teleported away, right?
Yep.
So are we out of combat?
Yep.
Okay.
I
mean, I
just
can-
wanted to double check on Marmaduke, make sure he
I
didn't
can just
die.
heal
But... Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, we'll have time then. Yep. So Rastus steps up to Marmaduke and heals him.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah. So combat ends. What's next, right? Because I think like we can maybe even cut like to a scene
maybe the
in
campfire
the future.
as we're all resting, kind of a thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Get our classic campfire scene.
hmm
Could I like make a survival check to like find a safer place to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Dang it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like this would be probably good as any place. Now that it's been decharged, right? It's probably not that bad of a place to stay. Yeah, we see you guys around a campfire, resting. Marmaduke is like bandaged now and like ugh. Out, still out cold basically. Yeah. I mean, the Dryad is probably also like right, like laying down. What's the whole situation then? Like
That's
right,
the question, isn't it? What do we do with the Dryad?
Yeah, I mean, what do you do with the Dryad? How are you gonna? So you knew that Delia knew of Fey crossing that you could go for. You're a bit out of the way from it now, and you guys need to rest, and that's why you're chilling out here. You're also still in the spring court, so Oberon is bound to still be trying to do something. But you feel like you've messed up enough of stuff, and I think even Ulrich, especially from your brief touch on his mind, you could sense, I think, that like this was like a possible backup plan, and Donin had something to do with it. But like once that failed, even too, then it was just like, all right, well, okay, cool. Now if he wants anything, he just wants to kill y'all. But even that may not be able to pull off because Deli is a fae. She has powers too. For now, I think you have a brief reprise.
I think we should try and get the Dryad to tell us how to get out of here.
I mean, Delia knows.
Delia knows the place just as well as this Dryad does.
I mean, so this is the thing. You guys could just book it there. Just go there, like now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
The question is, do we
all
rest
pretty
before or
messed
after
up.
we go through
Yeah.
the Dryad, go through the crossing?
I feel like we should rest because I have nothing basically.
Short rest at least is a good idea.
Yeah.
And I'll get everything back with the short rest.
I won't get much back, but I'll get more than nothing. So,
I don't remember what I get back with a short rest versus a long rest.
basically nothing. You get
That
some
makes
health back.
sense.
I think clerics have to have long rest to get spells.
Do I get any health back with a short rest?
Yeah, you can spend hit dice,
Yeah, you click on a hit dice and
heal. So you'd have
it heals
You'd
that
all
much.
have 3 hit dice.
3 to spend.
Okay.
Is that what you want to do? You want a
Only
short
get
rest
half
and then go
back.
to the Fey Crossing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think maybe that's. Do you have any
Okay.
spells left?
I have spells left, yes.
Okay, then yeah, I think that's probably not a bad idea.
Not a lot, but I have some.
Right.
How long have I been a bear? Like,
Long
how
enough
long-
that it fades. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. So, yeah, I think she's like
Walking
as
with
a
a couple
bear,
of
she's
children
like
on
sitting.
your back. Walking with a couple of children on your back, and all of a sudden,
She's let them down by now.
Yeah, I
Pile of
think
children.
I
But
don't
then
think it
she-
happens while she's carrying the children.
But then she like lumbers over to like wherever the fire is and like just sits there because it's been raining. So she's like, might as well like try to dry off her fur, and then she just kind of transforms back into little halfling Lisig, and then just sits around the fire trying to warm herself.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, maybe we see you like shake off all the water right before you transform, and
Yeah.
as you're shaking, you transform back into the halfling, and then you're all just still damp and wet.
that's a lot of water you just shook out there.
I don't think
But
she
yeah.
would say anything. To
Yeah. Just like,
There's nothing. There's nothing to say.
Yeah.
that.
So right, like we get this like short rest sequence, but yeah, I guess the question is right. What are you gonna do with Marmaduke? What are you gonna do with the Dryad?
Mhm.
And because I think like they will likely actually. Well, let me just roll. This is how it works. I roll 1d4, and that's how many hours it takes until they wake up. So Marmaduke's gonna wake up in 2 hours.
Well,
And-
if you heal them, don't they wake up immediately?
That's true. Marmaduke was already awake then. The Dryad was stabilized it, so she is going to. So she wakes up at the end of the short rest then.
Mhm.
Marmaduke
So-
just seems like phased and like kind of horrified by what happened. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, people are in her house and they're playing some sort of game or watching some sort of movie.
Are you sure they're not dying?
Yeah, I'm positive. They wouldn't sound like that if they were dying.
How would you know that?
I've
didn't
heard
ask-
them die before. Obviously.
All the time. It's just the sound, the ambient sounds of your house. It's
It is,
haunting.
really. It is. It really is. It's lots of weird sounds that go on.
Did Ulrich share anything about his close encounters with the Oberon kind?
What do you mean?
Did you tell us you were possessed?
Did you tell us you were possessed by
yeah.
Oberon and that
I
that's the
feel like-
deal with Marmaduke too, and that we should
Yeah.
actually maybe continue trusting Marmaduke because
Yeah, I would see no reason why I wouldn't.
okay.
I mean, we knew Marmaduke was possessed because he basically told us, but we didn't know Ulrich was possessed. That might be
No one had failed that
Right.
particular intelligence check, just saying. So it'd be good to share that because somehow I put 2 and 2 together and came out with the square root of -4,
right. Yes, you do.
which is 2i, by the way.
Yes.
I actually understood that. Dang.
The other question is, what do we do with the Dryad?
Yeah, I
Part
mean, I feel
of
like
me
we,
doesn't.
we
She
should-
seems like she's kind of important. If she's been at both of these rituals, like she
was
seems
a different one
instrumental in
previously.
Oberon's ascension, or is this a different Dryad?
There's a different
There's a
Dryad.
different
Yeah.
one.
Oh, well, okay. That
I feel like we should go somewhere else and leave her here.
Think we should just leave her? That's fair.
So
That's fair. She's in the spring court. She'll be she'll survive.
Yeah, and Ulrich has no reason to kill her. If anybody else doesn't have any reason to kill her.
Donan doesn't want people killing people right now.
I mean, is that going to stop anybody? I don't know.
I mean, maybe not, but Donan wouldn't be happy about it.
Right. No, I agree.
So I think, yeah, they'll probably just.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah, you're just gonna leave her, and then
I think what we'll
head
do
off
is
to the
we'll find some vines or ivy covered in leaves, and we'll tie her up and then leave her there.
Oh, Josh. Sweet, sweet Josh. All right, so yeah, that's fine. You guys can leave her somewhere. I think what happens is you guys get to the Fey Crossing. You get to this I think it's like a little shrine in the forest, and it has a door, like an archway. It's not really like, doesn't have like a door to move, but like an archway that kind of leads down into, I mean, what would be like a crypt in the real world, but maybe isn't in the Fey world. And basically Delia explains, all right, yeah, we go down here and we'll come out in this, in the shrine's equivalent in the real world.
So our exit is a crypt. That seems like a bad idea.
Who says that?
Delia.
Okay. It's my girl.
Basically what happens though, I think, is Marmaduke like shakes his head and he says, well, I guess I'm staying here then. I still have to get back my and let me just make sure I get the name of this right. I still have to get back my wand of citrusy polymerization.
Oh, please stop speaking.
Good luck with that.
And good luck with your quest, whatever it is. It doesn't seem like you guys are very good at it, but
Hey, what the heck?
Says the man who died in one shot.
Well done on that.
It was a draw, and then he just like turns around and walks off.
Yeah, it sounds like a character Jared would play.
Yep.
Let's call it a draw, shall we?
I had powers at my disposal that I decided not to use. Yeah. But yeah, so are you guys just gonna go through the Fey Crossing?
Yeah. I think Leesig, while we're like walking, Leesig is like kind of going like one by one to the children, mostly like the girls, and like trying to see like she's like holding out this doll that she found and like trying to see whose it is.
We're trying to return the doll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Took me a minute to parse the sentence. I'm like,
sorry, I was chewing.
I look away and then my brain goes out the window.
So, yeah, Leesig. I mean, you would find the person. So you find I think it was the little girl that Donan was helping eat at the feast that you guys had in Delia's Glade. She's like 5 years old, and she was having a hard time like holding this like the utensils. But yeah, she reaches out and just like, Polly, thank you. Do you know why Marmee took it from me?
She kind of looks kind of confused and slowly shakes her head, and she says, I don't. Sorry.
Okay. Just kind of nods. Do you want to make an insight roll for me, Lisa?
Yes, I would love to.
Do we overhear that? Could I?
I don't. I mean, maybe.
Oof.
Yeah, make an insight roll yourself for SS if you want to.
I have inspiration charge. I just keep forgetting that I can use it.
Jeez.
Yeah, Lisa, something about that statement bugs you. You're just like,
do you want me to make the insight roll?
Yeah, everybody can make an insight roll if they want. Ulrich?
I mean, yeah, I suppose.
I should have spent inspiration on that too.
Are you gonna spend inspiration, Ulrich?
Please do.
Uh,
I rolled a 2.
I mean, yeah. But I don't really have a story that pertains to this. I mean, I guess I could finish off that whatever story. I came to a conclusion.
Sure.
I think.
If you want.
It's already 11:04. We might want to save.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I'll just roll. It's irrelevant. You watch. I'm probably never gonna remember that. The first part of that story. Hey,
You should
16.
write it down. Nice. Good.
So, Ulrich, you're the one
Yes.
who figures this out. You
Okay.
think about that for a second. You're like, wait a second. Marmaduke. Marmaduke took the doll from her, but it ended up on the bank of the river. And you're thinking like, oh, okay. Maybe Marmaduke, in some like fit of clarity, like managed to fight off the possession just long enough to like drop the doll to like make sure that Lisa could find you. So yeah.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. So I think, right, like we just get the shot of you guys going into the shrine to get transported to the other side, right?
Mhm.
And we just see you guys go in and then we fade to black.
Yeah. So I
that's
think
the
when
session.
like before Rastus goes in, he turns back around. What was the name of that cat?
Ponger Bond.
Ponger Bon.
Never gonna remember that name.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He turns back towards the Feywilds, and yeah, I think he just kind of looks around and says, "Well, I hope I see you on the other side again, Pokemon." And I know his name, right? He introduced himself at some point.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and then I turn to step through.
And I think the last shot we get actually is we see Oberon on his throne. Like it's this throne made out of like woven branches and deer antlers, and he's sitting on this, kind of like tapping his knee irritatedly, and he has a book in his hand, and he like claps it closed, and he's looking at someone, but we can't see because of the way the camera is facing. And he says, "You said it would work. You said that would be a viable backup plan. Well, 3 rituals have now just failed. First Shayla, and then these 2. I don't understand. Do you have an explanation?" And then we kind of like get a shift around, and we see this kind of like big dude. He looks like a big I don't know, Scottish dude. But he's a glowing blue, and he has like arcs of electricity kind of like flickering around him. He just has his arms crossed, and he just says, "Well, Donan turned out to be a little bit more, I don't know what the word is, interesting than I originally thought. Don't worry. I'll be keeping an eye on all of them, I'm sure, and maybe we can, maybe there will be something down the road that will work. You have to be patient, Oberon. Becoming a god doesn't happen overnight. Besides, the forest has already been filled again. Tell me, have you heard of the cat named Ponger Bon?" And then we fade to black.
Who is that speaking?
You don't know, some storm dude.
Okay.
Was he really big?
Yeah,
Storm giant.
I mean, possibly. Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's do goals, guys. Get some XP. Should have done it at the beginning, but forgot about it. Oops. Cool. Ulrich, feel free to retroactively have goals because.
No,
it's my fault.
I did them at the beginning.
Okay, cool. What do you got?
I don't think I completed all of it though. Kill the Yeth Hound. Did that. Save the
Mhm.
children. Did that. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Learn. He didn't respond. Learn more about my wife. I don't think I really completed that one.
Yeah, you didn't make a roll to like find out anything new. Yeah.
There wasn't really an opportunity for talking to her. It was just kind of like, hey, let's stab that thing.
I mean, you learned that if somebody possesses you, she can kick your butt.
That's
That's pretty
true.
cool.
That's true. I did learn that.
And also that in a more sentimental way, she has your metaphorical back and that kind of stuff.
You level 3, Connor.
Yeah,
Okay, you get 300 XP.
it's not bad. And I level up at 3,000.
What do you got now?
1950. Good year.
It's 2,700.
2,700. Okay.
Okay, that's not bad. Yeah,
Cool. Erastus.
All right, I had find out why I've gained warlock abilities. I kind of forgot about that one. I was hoping Pokemon would show up at the end so I could get something for that, but he didn't. So,
He's got stuff going on. He's the god of forests now.
well, I need an IXP Pokemon. Get over here. Escape the Feywilds, as I've had for 3 sessions, so 4 now.
Mm-hmm.
And return the children to safety, which I don't know that we've done yet.
Haven't done that yet, but you definitely worked on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just the 4 sessions worth of escaping the Feywilds.
Oh yeah, man. So Erastus, this actually, or David, this actually makes total sense now. If we wanted to switch over to, I think we totally should switch over to like a paladin, with the specific oath, because, you're not even a warlock anymore. You don't have a pact with an archfey. You have a pact with a god.
Right, yeah,
So
that's
it actually
true.
makes total sense.
So now,
that-
if we did that, would I retroactively remove the?
yeah, we can
warlock
just switch
level?
around your
okay,
levels. Yeah.
because I didn't expect that to be a thing necessarily. But we
I
can
mean,
do that if you
I'm
want.
doing it with another character internally right now,
Okay.
and so I'm totally fine with
I'm fine with that. Yeah. Although I'll have to increase my strength because it's,
that. So you're level 3 too.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So you've worked on that for 4 sessions.
In total.
I mean, and there was a lot involved there, so I'll probably
Yeah.
give you more XP anyway.
And then 1 session I'm working on for return of children. to safety.
Yeah. So you get 1,175.
Yeah, buddy. All right, hold on. So 1,000. No. Okay. I'm gonna calculate this. Screw it. I'm gonna have to ask again what it was in a second. All right. Sorry. Say again.
1,175.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. So,
Cool.
sweet. So I leveled up.
Really? Wow.
I'm at 3,100 up 27.
Congrats.
What is the level for 5? Do you know?
I don't know. I'll look it up. Advancing Beyond. For level 5,
Yes.
the threshold is 6,500.
My goodness. Okay.
Donan.
I was muted this time. Escape the Feywild.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 banked on that.
Mhm.
Defeat the nasty beastie.
Mm-hmm. And you were specifically the one who did it, so good job.
And then confirm my suspicions of Oberon's plans.
I think.
With the backup plan and the
Yeah. So I mean, you
amount of
wouldn't.
power involved and stuff that would make
Yeah, I think it was just with your touch with the power. I think you maybe and maybe we even get like an end credit scene, right, with Donan as he like still like reeling from the touch that he had with that, and then I think maybe you even get a sense, right, like as you're filtering through the stuff that this like flash of inspiration that you had, where you're just like, oh,
I mean, I think
okay.
it's just confirmation. It's
Yeah.
It's not a flash of inspiration. I think as much as just realizing, yep, okay, definitely backup plans. Maybe even him with like parchment and pens and like a religious book with sigils and stuff as he's
Yeah, yeah.
working out, as he's doing the Aeonic math. What is this? What was the sigil designed to do?
Yeah, yeah.
He probably realizes he caused himself to ascend for a minute or so before.
Honestly, I think there was something like that. Yeah.
Oh god.
Right? There was like it was a very, very brief moment, but
Oh, yeah.
something akin to what that was supposed to be, right? Yeah. Cool, cool. So, how
that
many
one
times
had, that one had a +1 on it.
Okay, so this is the
So
second session
bang.
you've worked on it then?
Yes.
And then you worked on Escape the Feywild for 3 sessions, including this one?
Correct.
Okay. So that means... you're level 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then... Wait, what? What's going on? Here we go. All right, you get 775 XP.
Okay. Hang on.
Cool.
Are other people level 4 already?
I
the
just
rest
hit
is-
level.
Okay.
Lisa gets to level 2,
Yeah.
but she will level up this session no matter what because
Okay.
it's like 50 away.
Well, that's good. Thankfully, I actually completed some goals.
Yeah.
This session.
Cool. Lisa?
Help the children,
Mm-hmm.
which I did. Get out of the Feywild, which I've had since we came to the Feywild.
Ooh, okay.
So I don't know how many sessions that's been.
Probably the
but-
same amount as David then, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
7-4.
And get back what was stolen from me, which is still working
Mhm.
good.
Yep. Okay. So you get... $1,325.
Oh dang.
Congratulations.
Nice.
So you're definitely level 3.
Yeah. 2,175.
Cool stuff. Yeah, that was a really fun session. I liked that one.
Yeah.
So I don't know when we'll be able to be back because this is the way this game goes, but we will be back at some point. And I'm excited to see what happens next because you still got to get these children to someplace safe. And we're going to have to figure out what that looks like on the other side of the Fey Crossing. Cool stuff, guys. I think that's it from us here on Anno Domini. We'll see you on the other side. Adios.
That was pretty cheesy, Kib.
Hey.
Yep.